Constar Communications. You have no choice.
All right, class, settle down, settle down. My name is Substitute Professor Zig. Professor Tex is taking a leave of absence. He was awarded the honor of judging the annual Van Zandt Ice Cream Social / Chili Cook-Off. The event was a rousing success, and the doctors assure me that Tex is expected to make a full recovery. Eventually. In the meantime, I will be filling in, and I assure you I am fully qualified to lecture on... history? Well, that's awfully vague. Okay, I got this. Our subject today is a minor footnote from the history of ancient Terra. Decades before General Motors invented the self-sustaining fusion generator, and centuries before the hegemony slapped crotch lasers on the Mackie and began the age of the battle mech, the people of Terra established the first planet-wide digital information network known as the Internet. A rudimentary predecessor to the HPG networks we enjoy today thanks to Comstar. This network provided unprecedented information and communication access to the inhabitants of Terra. It also gave rise to recreational virtual communities, where folks from all over the planet could meet to discuss topics of interest. One of the more popular virtual meeting places, YouTube.com, featured audio-visual packages, or videos, created by individual content creators, or faces, hoping to generate discussion around the topic of their videos. Since they chose the topics of discussion and had the ability to censor the conversation however they wanted, the face developed into a position of significant social power. This power multiplied exponentially when YouTube decided to promote and financially compensate the most popular faces on the site. A disastrous decision that would eventually lead to the rise of the short-lived but outrageously opulent Caliphate of the Beast in the late 21st century. Granted near total control to police their communities however they saw fit, and incentivized by a mysterious and esoteric set of metrics that turned community engagement and video views into cold, hard C-bills, many of the faces grew greedy and manipulative. They abused the trust of their audience, using misleading titles to lure viewers in, placating them with superficial interactions, and directing their energy through calls to action to buy yet another unfunny inside joke t-shirt. With every reason in the world to take advantage, the unfettered ability to punish wrongthink, and the monetary and social incentives to justify every dehumanizing decision, it's a wonder anyone went against the grain at all, and one of those wonders is the subject of today's lesson. Founded by a librarian and gunsmith known to history simply as Tex, the Black Pants Legion was a social club concerned with playing games, creating documentaries, and most of all, shitposting. Rather than a cult of personalities subordinate entirely to the face of the channel, the Legion and its community operated more organically. Members of the community tuned into programs that interested them, whether that be documentary, tabletop roleplay, video game, or unrestrained madness.
These bones are worth $53.17. The old lady jumps for joy. She never lands.
A lot of the Legion's content wasn't even hosted on the main Black Pants Legion YouTube channel, with channels like Goat Burger, The Courtesy Flush, and the public access TV-style WBPL 76 providing diverse and often textless programming. Mr. Tex ran his organization from the very first with a philosophy of gratitude towards his audience that was only matched by his magnanimity towards other BPL members. Everyone from musicians to artists to editors and community organizers were given pride of place and praised for their contributions. Going far beyond lip service, Tex made sure these people were financially compensated for their work, despite never taking a paycheck himself until an internal coup forced the issue and forced him to accept moderate compensation. Were the typical face selfishly called on their audience to boost their own metrics, buy merchandise, or recruit friends and family to boost metrics and buy even more merchandise? Mr. Tex called on his community to do good in the world. When Tuck Davion's neighborhood was ravaged by a terrible storm, Tex spoke up, and the Legion was there. When Mad Ducks, eventual mayor of the BPL Auxiliary, needed surgery to save his eyesight, Tex spoke up, and the Legion was there. When George Ledoux, distant ancestor of famed Solaris 7 announcer Duncan Fisher,
But I am Duncan Fisher.
Well, there's no one else, so I guess you'll have to do.
George Ledoux.
had a tree fall on his house. Tex spoke up, and the Legion was there so fast that donations were disabled less than a week after the fundraiser blew past its expected limit. Even major projects, the lifeblood of any YouTube channel, were used to funnel money not into the pockets of Tex and his friends, but charities to help children and veterans. These efforts raised nearly $150,000, or around 30,000 C-bills, just enough to set those kids up with an SRM2 and give them a very Merry Christmas indeed. Instead of an altar to his own personality and sense of humor, Mr. Tex and the Black Pants Legion created a thriving, organic community that flourished entirely because it did not adhere to the manipulative tactics of many of its contemporaries. Their story proves that fostering an inclusive, fun space for people to create what they like was more than enough to support not just one, but a whole host of YouTube channels, Twitch streams, podcasts, and art in a way that respected and included the individual audience member, instead of commoditizing them for profit. In this way, the BPL will forever stand as an example of just what a legacy can be.
So, when people are looking for a meaningful, lasting legacy and impact on this world, if you do good deeds, you help people, you try to be kind, you try to be decent, even though that's really fucking hard, your legacy is forever.
Yeah.
And that's just about all there is for us to learn from YouTube, class. Well, other than the obvious thing. I mean, YouTube was owned by a company called Google, and Google controlled virtually every aspect of Ancient Terra's information. They filtered search results, they were in charge of global mapping, most people got their news from them, and they even controlled people's private mail. I mean, you'd have to be a complete moron to let one entity control all of that. That's the kind of power that goes straight to your head and gives folks weird ideas about their level of importance. A company like that could probably control the entire
Oh, I bid farewell to my beautiful land, and as mustered and ordered before you I stand, to march off to war and to die if I must, and to fight like a bastard, in this you must trust. As the years pass along, you will see what it's worth, bearing bodies and moving to another earth. I fear not the low bear what happens to me, just as long as my Van Zandt is finally free, for as long as old Van Zandt will remember me.
Black Pants Legion may be the last bastion of unadulterated fun on YouTube. It's actually a fucking rarity on YouTube. Channel that has never tried to be monetized and regularly gives the finger to the man. So many channels are just talking heads, whose only point is to sell a product. There's no heart in that. The Black Pants Legion is the kind of YouTube channel where a misanthrope drinks his scotch, smokes his cigars, and says whatever the hell he wants for hours at a time. Black Pants Legion is worth subscribing to. The question is, are you Legion material?
To join our brave causes, to offer your life, and surely surrender to permanent strife. But if you feel the call and are willing to sign, you will find that you place your life down on that line. Surrender is never a tactic we use, for our cockpits are lacking an ejection fuse. I fear not the low bear what happens to me, as long as my Van Zandt is finally free, just as long as my homeland will remember me.